I want to talk about the top 10 mistakes that people living with diabetes make. A lot of mistakes and misconceptions exist in the life of people living with diabetes. Number 10 is believing that there are certain supplements that you will take and it will reverse or cure diabetes. Let me tell you the truth. There is no supplement that any research have shown that can help you reverse diabetes. What can help you reverse diabetes is change in lifestyle through your diet and exercise. So do not believe that there's any supplement that will help you reverse diabetes. Number 9 is believing that fruits do not have sugar. That is totally wrong. The more ripe a fruit is, the more sugar content it has. And there are certain fruits that have a lot of sugar, like pineapple, like pawpaw, like mango, like orange, like watermelon and banana. So you have to be cautious with them, especially the pineapple, the pawpaw, and mango. Number 8 is eating too often, eating too regularly, eating like 6-7 times a day. I've discussed that if you're eating too regularly, it's going to elevate your blood sugar. You are supposed to eat morning, afternoon, night. In between, you can have healthy snacks and you won't have any problem. Number 7 is not drinking adequate amount of water. As a diabetic patient, you need to be taking adequate amount of water. It is very important because it helps lowers the blood sugar and it keeps you hydrated. Don't only drink when you're thirsty as a diabetic patient. Make a conscious effort to be drinking water regularly. Number 6 is lack of exercise, lack of physical activity. Physical activity is very important for you as a diabetic patient as it lowers blood sugar, lowers BP, lowers cholesterol, and will help you have adequate sleep and it will relieve you of stress. Talking about stress, it is important that as a diabetic patient, you do not ignore the effect of stress, whether physical stress or emotional stress. Stress has been associated with the elevation of blood sugar because it produces a hormone called cortisol, and cortisol counteracts the action of insulin, and that alone can elevate your blood sugar in terms of your diet and exercise. So try and handle stress properly by having adequate rest and seeking for help. Number 4 is lack of checking blood sugar regularly. If you are diabetic and you're taking medication, whether tablet or insulin, and you're not checking your blood sugar regularly, you are taking drugs, you do not know the effect of the drugs, whether the drugs are adequate or the drugs are too much for you. So it is important, if you can afford, buy your personal glucometer. If you cannot afford, have a place that you will go and check your blood sugar regularly. Number 3 is relying on drugs alone. Very important that you also combine it with watching your diet and engaging in exercise. Number 2 is drinking juice and assuming that juice don't have sugar. Though some juice don't have added sugar, but the problem is the fruit they use to do those juice contain a lot of sugar. Like you see mango juice, of course mango has high sugar, or orange juice, of course orange has a lot of sugar. So you cannot take those juice. You are only allowed to take certain whole food, not the juice. Is cutting carbohydrate. A diabetic patient cannot cut completely carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are not to be blamed. The problem is that you do not have insulin enough to take care of the carbohydrate. That's why we advise that you take whole carbohydrate and you observe portion control. Don't eat a lot. As long as you observe portion control, you are going to be fine. So these are the top 10 mistakes that diabetic patients usually make. Write in the comment section the mistake that you make.